So much, all the things happened today. I got it in the space gray, which was a big step for me. Okay, wait a second. There was a little incident today. I don't think that you could ask for a better story than that.
Child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another week here in medical school. My name is Gianluca, and I'm a second-year medical student studying in Canada. Now, there's so much going on in this week's vlog. I don't even know where to start in terms of what to talk about, but as you guys can see, the mustache is gone. November has come and gone. We had a great year. We raised a ton of money, and we'll go over that later on. But for today, exams are done, and I'm actually starting my final elective, my final transitional elective before clerkship. I'm going to be starting in about an hour and a half in the emergency room for 1 week in emergency medicine. So it's crazy because I actually haven't been in the emergency room for over a year now, ever since I think it was like last November was the last time that I was there. But we're starting up today, brand new hospital, brand new doctors, never met any of these people before. So I stayed up late last night, it's about 9:30 right now, but I put together just a few differentials and things to have. This is going to be my little cheat sheet for today and for the week going forward. Just approaches to like headaches and shock and chest pain is another good one for the emergency room. And that was that last night. But right now, I'm sure one of the things that you guys might have heard about emergency medicine is that it's a very fast-paced lifestyle. It's a lot of stereotypes associated with what the work environment's like there. So one of the first things I'm going to do this morning is actually go into the kitchen and make myself a big breakfast. I think I'm going to be there for about 8 or 12 hours today, depending on how busy the emergency department gets. So the plan is to have a massive breakfast, and that way, hopefully, it'll carry me until the end of my shift. Then I'll come home after and make myself a big dinner as well. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys could tell, but let's get the day started. So I promise you guys, I don't always eat like this, but the last time I was in Emerge, I didn't get any breaks at all, so I'm not taking any chances this time. We have yogurt, black coffee, my veggie omelet, 2 pieces of bacon, some oatmeal. And then what I like to do is cut up my banana inside my oatmeal, because otherwise it just tastes, I don't really like oatmeal otherwise. But don't judge me, guys, this is just because I'm going off of the assumption that I'm not getting lunch today. But I'll let you know how that goes in a little bit. Okay, so just got to the hospital and I've never been here before, brand new hospital for me. So the plan is, first things first, I gotta go in there, find out where the scrubs are, then I gotta meet the doc that I'm gonna be with, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go talk to the nurses because the emergency nurses run it on the floor and they're a great resource to have. Every time I start a new rotation, I always come super early, so it's 10:40 right now, I start up at 11, so yeah, let's go make some friends. I don't even know how I'm supposed to start this. How could I take everything that happened today and condense it into a few minutes? Just so much, all the things happened today. It was nuts. So I'm pretty sure at this point it's just tradition that every time I show up in a new hospital, I get lost. I had to find the scrubs. As soon as I did, and I showed up at the emergency department, we already had traumas from the very beginning. Pretty impressive major traumas at that too. Resuscitation, getting the whole team involved. We had to get the helicopter activated to transport a patient to another site. You know, one of the coolest parts about the emergency department is that you get to see it all in terms of the really high acuity stuff and then the not so dramatic stuff. But I had to use a little bit of everything that I've learned in medical school so far. We had psych things to look at. We had cardio things to come in and look at. I even got to suture my first real life patient today. There was a laceration wound that I got to put a few sutures into, so that was really awesome too. It was just a really amazing day, for a lack of a better word. I can't actually describe a lot of emotions when you're working in the emergency department. You see some stuff and you feel really sorry for certain people. and you're trying to help out as much as you can, but you're also there to learn. It was amazing. I threw up a question on my Instagram earlier and I got a whole bunch of responses. One of the things a lot of people want to know is what the schedule was like for me today. So I got there at 11 o'clock and I finished, went all the way to about 8 o'clock. I did actually end up getting a lunch break at 6 o'clock, but I thought that they weren't going to give me a lunch break, so I didn't bring my wallet inside and also didn't bring any food. So that one was totally on me. I kind of went hungry till I got home just now. Another question that a lot of you guys had, and I'm going to be very careful with the way that I word this one because some people are still telling me that smaller YouTube channels can't get away with saying this particular word in their videos, but we did have quite a few patients, at least 4 or 5, that had the illness that's going on right now, the sickness. And the rule is that because I'm a medical student, if there's ever a patient that's suspected of having some of the symptoms of this thing, then I'm actually not allowed in the room. But they were there in the emergency room, not too many of them. But yeah, that was my first day on elective. I'm exhausted. I was there. Don't get me wrong, I know med student problems. The doctors are there much longer than I was today. I was only there for 9 hours. My bed's calling me though. It's right there. I already have it made up. So the plan is to go to sleep right now and wake up tomorrow and get going with the rest of the week because it's going to be really busy. On top of the elective, we also have other stuff going on too. So see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. So I woke up today and we had class for about 2 hours this morning, but I'm actually off from the hospital today because the way my schedule works out, I'm booked Monday, Wednesday, off Thursday again, and then I do Friday, Saturday. So I got 4 shifts this week. Today's gonna be really busy as well though. I'm just getting ready to go to the gym. From November, I did 30 days straight working out. So last week I took a few days off because I was really just beaten down after that 30 days. So I only went twice last week. Starting up this week, I'll be there 5 days a week again. I went yesterday as well. And the gym has always been just such an important part for me, just like staying well in general, whether it's doing the electives and feeling good when I'm at work or studying after. Today we actually have a lot of work to do with research because I'm getting ready to submit a few abstracts for some conference presentations. So that's going to take a while too. But I'm on Christmas break next week. So the last week to push it through. Oh, and let me show you guys about Movember really quick. How cool is that? Guys, like the original goal was to raise $1,000 and maybe put together a team of like 10 people. But we did way more than that. I think we had 60 people to join the team in total. And over 6,000 coming up on $7,000. I was actually able to donate all of my YouTube ad revenue from the month of November to the Movember charity, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for liking the videos, for subscribing to the channel, and for watching the videos, because as the channel keeps growing, I hope it keeps growing in the future, I'll be able to do more things like this. I want to get this Movember charity donation thing running every single year in November. So for those of you guys that missed out this year, feel free to join the team next year because we had a lot of fun. And hopefully next year we could do some in-person events too, depending on what's going on. So first of all, I don't know if this ever happens to you guys when you're doing research as well, but I've been staring at these numbers and this information for our research project now for like the last 2 hours trying to put something together. There's an upcoming conference for an emergency medicine conference coming up. I'm trying to get an abstract submitted, but none of this is making any sense. So studying before, now I'm trying to do this. I also have my suture kit out right now. I've been trying to practice some of this in between my finishing up this project, kind of like a study break, really trying to get that high efficiency going. Whenever I get a little bit frustrated with the project that I'm working on, I'll take a quick break, throw in some sutures, and then that way, if I show up with the Emerge tomorrow and it is another trauma intensive day, I'll be good to go. It's awesome how much better I got at that compared to like a few months ago. So emergency elective day 2, just got here 7 o'clock. Feeling pretty good. Let's go get it. So I don't know if you guys can see that at all, sleep in the right angle, but it's 5:30 right now. We finished the shift today at 4 and I really liked it. It was a great day today. I'm really digging this whole shift work type vibe, which is nice because if we started at 7:30 today and we went to 4, what is that? That's about 8.5 hours if I'm doing that right. And I know some of the docs told me that they'll do like a mixture between 8-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts. In total, they work about 12 to 16 shifts per month. So it's definitely, I could definitely see myself learning to love the Emerge shift work lifestyle. Okay, wait a second. There was a little incident today. The doc that I was working with today was calling me Gianmarco all day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not holding it against the doc. It's a weird name for some people. It's not an issue if they don't know my name, but then what's weird after is that if they introduce you to patients by the wrong name, and then you have to correct the patient after. Anyways, long story short, I finally found the courage to go and correct this doc and tell them my actual name. And I would highly recommend it. If you ever have a doc when you guys eventually get into medical school that is calling you by the wrong name, do it nicely, but the sooner the better. It just makes the rest of the shift so much easier and a lot less awkward. So I also wanted to show you guys what was in my bag, my useful items that I bring to the Emerge, and give you guys a few tips for the next time that you're there. First of all, let's talk watches, right? Because this is my favorite watch, and I'm a big watch guy. I love watches, but this is my favorite watch to wear to the Emerge. It's just a G-Shock watch that I got for $100 years and years ago. I've taken this thing to the bottom of the ocean scuba diving. I've taken it skydiving with me multiple times. It survived me through organic chemistry back in undergrad and all the reactants that I got on it by mistake. And then when I'm doing something more clinical, this is my other one. This is just my fossil watch. And again, if you guys ever need a watch, always go on Amazon. I find they have like the best deals when it comes to that stuff. Now, in terms of other things that I bring, I have my little cheat sheets right over here. My handwritten notes of things that I need to know for the Emerge. Anytime I come across something that's interesting or I get corrected by a resident or a nurse or a doctor, I'll go ahead and I'll write it in here. So throughout my little tiny 5-minute breaks in the day, you actually accumulate a lot of notes that help you out when you're talking to patients after. So would highly recommend doing something like this. I also have a spare face shield that I always keep just in case I ever find that I'm in a position where I can't find one. So it's always good to have. And then I have my leather-bound notebook that I keep that I got from my school. This is actually when I'm just interviewing the patients and gathering all their information. I'll write everything down in here, and then that way when I transcribe it over to like a computer record or something later on, it just go from one side to the other. It really helps out to bring something in with you rather than just memorizing everything the patient says, because their stories are so complex sometimes that it really helps out just to write everything down. And then finally, no rotation elective would even be possible without trusty stethoscope. I've been getting really good at using it as an impromptu reflex hammer as well, because when you're in the Emerge, there's a scarcity of resources sometimes. So learning how to use the stethoscope as a reflex hammer, a little bit more of a high level skill, but one that's super valuable. I think it's finally time for an upgrade. So this is the brand new 2020 MacBook Air with the M1 chip. We just picked it up this weekend, and I've actually just been so busy this week so far that I haven't been able to open it up until just now. I got it in the space gray, which was a big step for me because normally I'm just really plain and I get the silver one, but it's my first new laptop in like 6 years. It's crazy. If this new laptop could even shave off like an hour per video that I edit, that's really going to help me a lot in terms of moving forward once clerkship starts up in January. Because I've already heard from my classmates that like the shifts are going to be crazy all the time. So any time that I can save is definitely worth it in terms of me keeping the channel going. And in terms of my old laptop, I'm going to be giving this one to my parents because they're still using the MacBook from 2010. So time for an upgrade for them as well. Alright guys, so it's Friday night right now. Sorry, I didn't film anything at all today, but I just got back from the Emerge. I don't know if you can see it on my watch, but it's 10:40. I started off today at 11 o'clock. It was when my shift started, so we did almost the 12 hours. It was like 11 and a bit by the time it was done. And today was nuts. It was actually like, one of the questions you guys have asked me is like, is Emerge like what you see in the movies sometimes? And today I could actually say that it was. It was busy, nonstop the entire time. I'm just going around eating dinner right now, so I gotta do some cooking. I wanna debrief this one story with you all really quick because I feel like there's never been a story like this before for the first time that someone had to do their very first cardioversion. So there was a lot of stuff that happened today, but one of the things that stood out, I had to give my first ever shock on a patient with an arrhythmia. So a lot of things going on there. I was the one that actually had to push the button to charge the machine and then made sure that everyone was standing clear. And then I gave the actual button push to deliver the shock. So, but the thing that makes this a great story is that the patient that we delivered the shock to, after everything was over and they had actually started to wake up from the sedatives that we gave them, they actually woke up and looked at me and he's like, dude, and he gave me a props. The first ever patient that I ever cardioverted in my entire medical career woke back up after the cardioversion was successful, and they gave me props. I don't think that you could ask for a better story than that. So I'm gonna call it here. We'll see you guys tomorrow for my last shift. All right, guys, and that's it for me. Today was my last day in Emerge. It's Saturday, so let me just check the time. It's 9 o'clock, so I did the 11 to 9 shift today. And that's it. That was my first week of Emerge on elective. Now, a lot of you guys have asked me what I thought about it, if this is something that I consider doing in the future, like for residency and then even afterwards. And it totally is. I had a great time this week. I loved the adrenaline to it. I loved the different cases that came in, and I love that you absolutely need to know the medicine. And I know there's a stereotype for Emerge that's just like quick, refer out, CT this, check that. You really do need to know the medicine for a lot of these cases as well. And I did really like that. But on the other hand, I also had my family medicine elective last week, and I absolutely fell in love with family medicine too. It was a great week. I didn't film it, and that's because my very first clerkship rotation starting up in January is going to be 4 weeks in family medicine, and I promise to take you guys along for that one too. I still don't really know where I'm going to end up actually at the end of all this, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to end up somewhere in either family or emergency medicine at this point. Let me know where you guys think that I'm going to end up in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys, and I love hearing your input as to where you picture me being at the end of all this. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. Everyone, take care.